Hey everybody, I'm here today to tell you 7 ways to practice for the driving test. In this video, I'll be going over 7 specific things that you can do to practice for the driving test. And guess what? The more that you practice for the driving test, the better prepared that you'll be for the test, and the higher the chances are that you'll actually pass the test and get your license. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Number 1, the first way that you can practice for the driving test is to practice specific skills. Now, I mean literally pick specific driving skills and practice them. So every time that you go driving, you should pick 3 to 5 specific skills and practice them using drills. For instance, if you want to practice reverse parking, reverse park 30 times. If you want to practice changing lanes, change lanes 50 times. If you want to practice parallel parking, parallel park 20 times. Literally pick specific skills that you want to practice and do skill drills with them, and you'll get better and better. Okay, the second way that you can practice for the driving test is to just drive. Now, you should practice specific skills just like I just spoke about, but sometimes you should just drive the vehicle. Block off certain chunks of time and just drive. I would recommend going for chunks of time that are at least 30 minutes. And I would also recommend driving with a plan. So instead of just driving around the neighborhood, pick a location that you want to drive to and drive from your starting location to that location and back. Make sure that you just drive. It's a great way to practice for the driving test. Method number 3 for practicing for the driving test is to study driving theory. There is a lot that you can learn from reading and watching different driving pieces of content, just like you're doing right now. I would recommend looking at all the variations of driving theory and studying them. Study the theory of specific skills. Study the right of way. Who has the right of way in which situation? Study everything that you can about driving. Study the road signs. Study as much as you can about driving theory, because it's important to know exactly what to do because you've actually been in the car and you have that driving experience. But it's also important to know the knowledge that you get when you study driving theory. Moving forward, number 4, plan for uncommon situations. Now, on your driving test, you're obviously hoping for the most common situations because those are going to be the ones that you've practiced for the most. But there might be an uncommon situation that you encounter, and I want you to be ready. So think about as many uncommon situations as you can and just plan for them. Imagine what you would do in that situation. One uncommon situation that you might encounter is an emergency vehicle approaching you from a specific direction. So figure out, what would you do if an emergency vehicle was approaching you from behind, from the right, from the left, from straight ahead. Figure out what you would do and plan for those uncommon situations. Number 5, take a driving lesson, or better yet, take many driving lessons. Now, even if you've already taken many driving lessons, there's no harm in taking an additional lesson. And this is extremely helpful if you know exactly what you want to improve on. Meaning, if you can go to the driving instructor and tell them, listen up, can you please help me improve on this specific set of driving skills? They're going to be able to help you even more than if you just say to them, can I have a driving lesson, please? Okay? Moving forward, the 6th way that you can practice for the driving test is to imagine yourself taking the driving test. Now, what you should do is just close your eyes and imagine yourself taking that driving test, okay? Imagine yourself getting into the car, exhibiting all of your driving skills, demonstrating all of your driving skills, and passing the test. The power of positivity is amazing. So just imagine yourself taking that driving test, passing the test, and getting your license. It will greatly help you in your practicing for the driving test. Last but not least, the 7th way that you can practice for the driving test is look through the testing area. If you know that you're taking the driving test in this specific area, look through that testing area. Go for a walk through as much of the area as you can. Drive around as much of the area as you can. Study the testing area so that you're ready for it. This way you know the speed limits where on whichever streets that you're driving. You know where the traffic lights are. You know where the yield signs are. You know where the stop signs are. You want to know where everything is. So when the driving examiner tells you to drive down this street, you know exactly where you're going to be approaching and encountering, and therefore you can be ready to react to those things. And that's basically it. In this video, I have gone over 7 ways to practice for the driving test. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great car and driving videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.